Hey guys, welcome. It's a brand new day. I don't know if I've announced this or yet not on my YouTube channel, but we're going to be doing something different this year because I found I was getting a little bit stale on YouTube. I found I wanted to kind of speak my mind a little bit more and not feel kind of the constraint of always having to get my thumbnail right and align with the algorithm. I'm someone who's deeply passionate about surf skating, and I want to share my true thoughts in a way that's kind of a little bit more unfiltered. And to do that, I'm starting a Patreon channel. So on this channel, you're going to find a lot more advanced skills tutorials because really there's a small audience for people who are at that stage where they're trying to do the more advanced stuff. So this is a way for me to do that and still get, some revenue to support being able to keep doing the work that goes into this. It also gives me an opportunity to do some things that might appeal to a smaller, more devout surfskate following. And one of the things that I wanted to touch on was surfskate movies. As you know, I have made some of my own surfskate movies, and I did that because I felt there was a little bit of a lack of creativity in the surfskate film world. There wasn't a lot of variation. We see a lot of the same maneuvers. They got kind of predictable for me. One of the things I'm going to be doing is doing some reviews of surfskate movies. And I wanted to give you guys a sneak preview of that, of what you might come to expect. And what better way to do it than to review my very own first movie, Unconventional. And this is going to be tough because that was put out way too early. My skills as a skater weren't up to par. My skills as a filmer weren't up to par. I look back at it now and I cringe a little bit. So I thought that is perfect for this first review where I can really speak my mind and not hurt anybody else's feelings aside from my own. So this is going to be easy to find because all you have to do to find Unconventional is just go into Google and type in worst surfskate movie and it'll pop right up for you. So with that said, let's get into it and start breaking down what I like about this movie, what I dislike about it, what I think should have been done differently. Guys, this is completely unscripted, so you are seeing live, raw, just going with the flow, my reaction. So let's go. All right, the opening scene, I still stand by that. Just a spectacular, phenomenal place. Filmed with the drone. It would have been nice if we had some sound, some nice inspiring intro. So I'm happy with that intro. The kind of weird thing is that this was originally supposed to be the intro before I found that rock spot. So it kind of makes no sense. This movie has two intros. And man, when it comes to making a film, your first clip should be a banger. And I think I have a really strong tendency to like lines. So I like to have long lines that link a lot of tricks together. So I like this because it was a line with a few different things, but man, it would not be what I would choose today, that's for sure. We had the caveman, we had the manual, we had the little 360 slide. And even this is cool enough. But it's a ride-on grind. It's a long grind and a 50-50. It does match the unconventional theme, but it wasn't probably my best trick. That should be saved for the end, but I don't know if that really set the tone for the movie that it should have. Again, a little 50-50 grind there. I don't know why I kept it rolling here. This went on way too long. Nice snap in front of the sunset. I'm okay with that. I like this. This captures the spirit of the movie, the unconventional. I just found that board and set it up. I can do wall rides really well now, so it's kind of cringeworthy looking back at this one and thinking it was worth making a slow motion clip of, but so this is another one where I went with a line, and I think it's really phenomenal. The tricks that I got landed on this line. Had that nice bird slide, then the backside 180, snap that was pretty ugly. Did them all in sequence. It's not easy to do. This was, I think, only like the third try onto the boneless, but this clip really drags. So I think it would have been better just choosing the best clip from there and going with that. This film clocked in at 24 hours, which is insane. Sorry, it feels like 24 hours. It was 24 minutes long, and there was so much fat I could have trimmed. But I spent so long filming. I had so much footage. Like, I filmed probably from April until October, just stacking clips. And a lot of them were stuff that I had held on to and I didn't want to waste, but looking back now, there's a lot I could have trimmed out of this. So again, this is just an amazing spot, unconventional move, doing the ride on grind onto the bridge. Took a lot of tries to get that. I'm okay with that. It wasn't that spectacular. I wish I could have got longer. All right, guys. This is rough. So when I was filming this, I was working on trying some new things with just my carving. Because it was a Surfskate movie, I wanted to have some just regular carving and writing in it, not just doing tricks. And it was a huge mistake. The thing I'm doing with my arm here is just, I mean, watch for yourself. How did I keep this in such a long, oh God. That is terrible. That is why it's the worst surf skating move in history. So we can probably just skip through the straight carving clips from there on. I still don't see a lot of people on surf skates olling down staircases. So even though it's just a little 3-stair, that's fine. But why did I keep this in? Like, look at how long that just straight carving setting up for this trick. It was kind of cool, but could have cut all that out. Again, this is just another kind of cool spot with the colors and the backdrop. Would have been better if I had a filmer. Nothing too impressive. I don't think that should be in a professional quality surfskate movie. And again, we have a cool spot with some really ugly carving. Definitely should not have put this in. Wall ride would have been better in this spot.
Hi, my name is Mark Baldwin, and I'm what some might consider...
All right. I don't know if we need to watch all this. This is the talking parts. You know, you can watch that if you're interested. That was a really cool spot, like on a cliff overlooking the river. So getting the kickflip in front of the sunset. I stand by that. Let's just skip through this because that's probably what you did if you actually watched this far.
Discovered that is to explore when the work to find.
All right. Next sequence. Okay with that B-roll shot. Kind of interesting, draws you in, works well with the music. I sprained my wrist trying to do that, so I was definitely including it. All right, here's one of the slightly better wall rides. Little stumble on it. All right, this is another one that I don't know what I was thinking. I used this same spot, like 4 clips that were slightly different variations of a line or a trick, and just they staggered on way too long. So yeah, we got the snap in, we got a little bit of flow, but overall, I should have been going faster here. It looks kind of slow and tedious. Got the 50-50 sloppy grind. Then an ollie. You know, this is fine for like just kind of a plain Instagram clip, but to put this in a movie and then the ugly ride off, that was okay. I should have got it cleaner. Again, just way too much. One of the things that I was doing here, I wanted to have the surf skate component to it when doing skate tricks. So I got the shove it, then coming down backwards on the surf skate. But I didn't need to have the long sequence carving up to it. I just wanted to have that so that I was, showing that I was surf skating and I wasn't kick pushing. I was actually pumping into the tricks that I was doing. Still though, I don't know if I've got this today, doing this frontside shove it, landing fakie, then kick turning off the nose, coming down backwards. That's really hard to do. Again, going back to this curb and just way too much curb shots that weren't super clean or that interesting. This board slide was actually probably a harder, better trick than the ride-on 50-50 that I used at the beginning. So I don't know why I didn't use that instead. I mean, that's kind of a goofy way to start a run. This is a cool spot, and I think one of the things that I wanted to do, like the whole unconventional theme of this, was to show that I don't live in a place that's like California or Barcelona. Ottawa is a more kind of grungy, grimy city. We get winters that are long. We have parts that are pretty broken down. We don't have like those wave ramps. So I wanted to capture that. We still have some interesting spots, some beautiful spots, but it's more of kind of like an old New York City vibe versus, a fancy skate spot vibe. And I wanted to capture kind of the crustiness of the spots. So again, I think the filming on this was really good, like the way that my wife got right behind me. So this is one of the carving clips that actually is okay, because the lines draw you in, the backdrop, the place, that's not bad. It's just too long again. And then the setup for this worst boneless in the history of surf skating or skateboarding. I was one of the only people doing nollie, so I wanted to work one of those in, but it didn't really make sense, and it was not a very clean one. So like, it just seems kind of like I could have fit that in a different way. Again, I was trying to get all these tricks in a line, and it didn't really work. Snap, another snap, and then here you can tell I tried to go for the wall ride and didn't land it, so I just cut it. One of the oldest tricks in the book. Here too, I mean, the whole point of this movie was about being unconventional and want to get out of kind of the standard skate park type stuff you see all over Instagram and in other surf skate movies. So it kind of defeated the whole theme of the movie by throwing in a few select skate tricks that are done in a skate park. So like, yeah, that's an okay trick, but it just kind of breaks up the flow and the theme. I still love that clip. I think that one should have been closer up front. Again, here we have ugly carving that ruins an otherwise good trick that I spent a lot of time trying to get, that little wall ride over the rock.
So why do you consider yourself unconventional?
Some more talking parts. Man, the ego I had to try and do this when I was such a nobody. Not really sure what I was thinking. It was pretty vulnerable. The amount of work I put into this and the criticism I received, but I feel like I came out kind of better for having done it. Learned a lot through the process, how to get better. Nollie 180, nothing wrong with that. Skip ahead. Okay. Back to this spot again. Again, like a long manual, it's cool. I should have just picked the best clip and done one. Like, there's no need to repeat this spot so many times, especially in a 24-minute movie. It's the reason it's 24 minutes. That's the exact same grind. Like, there's no need to put that twice. Cool shot, the manual with the sunset in the background. Again, having third-person filming really helped this, but it's not a good enough clip to be in a movie like this. I should have just put the part where I do the kind of barrel ride under the hedges and none of the lead up to it. And then again, going back for seconds, that's the clip that should have been in it. That's the one that draws your eyes in. Here we got a cool spot with more extremely ugly carving on a swell tech, though, you'll notice. So it's the only time I think the swell tech makes an appearance in this. Okay, this was way harder than it looks. The video doesn't capture how steep that is, but I think the way I filmed it just really didn't do it any favors. So it looks like a throwaway clip that shouldn't have been in here. Whereas if you're actually at the spot, you kind of can understand. This is the run up to get to it, and you have to kind of lift your, there's a little curb there, so you have to lift your nose up to get onto it. Fun but scary spot. Again, why put this in a different place? Like, I could have done 2 angles of it the time that I did it before, or instead I just couldn't decide which was the better clip, so I put them both in. Really rookie mistake. And now we're back to that same spot again, this time on the YOW. So I think, you know, I should have picked one or the other. Obviously it's more hard on the YOW than on the Carver C5, so just stick with one. I think the filming was better on the other one because I had someone filming rather than self-filming it, but I like these clips. It looks really cool with the lines from the bridge. Carving's not as excruciatingly cringeworthy as the other ones. Don't know why I put that in. And for a self-film clip, you know, this is an interesting clip that draws you in. It's got motion, got the water and the bridge and the sunset, so I'm fine with that. Not fine with this. Look at my arms. Guys, I am sorry for those of you who sat through this. Especially those of you who are back, but I hope you can appreciate me making fun of it. Because, you know, also I'm going to say, like, I'm a guy who appreciates self-depreciating humor, so don't think that I'm, like, beating myself up or that I'm, like, losing sleep over this. I think it's funny. I think it kind of shows how much I progressed. It's because I'm confident in where I'm at today that I can look back at this and make fun of it, so... This was a cool clip, like the nose manual and then the 180 off. I wish I got it cleaner. I can do it cleaner now. I did go back and get it a little better, but you know, that's a trick that not a lot of people are doing on Surfskate, so I stand by it. Boneless with the Ferris wheel in the background, that's a good clip. I like that. Again, why put this in? It's inside an indoor skate park. That's a pretty long staircase to ollie over. That should be in there. Wish I had a filmer, but again, didn't need that. And again, a repeated trick. So it's like the second or third frontside shove it. Got the blunt there, which at time I had never seen anyone else do on the Surfskate, so that's all right. That's an okay clip. This one, what can you say? I wanted to capture Ottawa, so this is the Ottawa Senators hockey arena. It's our professional sports team. So I went and skated in front of it, but man, it was just an atrocious clip.
What sports do you participate in? Why have you gravitated towards surfskating?
Need to find where my cursor is. Obviously you can see I'm using a ring light, but hope you appreciate the attempt at bringing up the professionalism level. All right, so this is kind of the finishing touch where I had kind of been building up to this and had let a few teasers out. Anyway. Check that out. And I think from the looks of the pictures I found that it's going to be really good on a Surfskate, even better than on a skateboard. So we're going to go check that out. I like that B-roll clip. It kind of builds up the suspense, lets you know that something cool is coming, especially given that people saw that teaser in the opening sequence. So. Another thing that you guys don't know is the drama and the challenge with music for this video. I think I spent more on buying rights to songs that I didn't use than this movie actually made in ad revenue. So I don't really use music anymore in my films because it's such a hassle with YouTube and copyright. But anyway, all that to say, I think this was the 4th choice of song that ended up in this sequence. So. Opening's good, you know, building the suspense a little bit, but it's going on a little bit long. For the first scene where I'm riding in it, I don't like seeing that I did a kick turn on both walls there. I would have preferred if I could have. Now, you know, this is a really challenging place to ride, don't get me wrong, especially on Yamaraki trucks. But I would have liked to have seen like a snap off the first one, just keeping all 4 wheels on the wall. Little semi-bird slide. That was a cool clip. It was a really difficult trip to do, like getting the little nose slide / nose stall and then reverting out, but it was not executed well. It wasn't executed clean. It got in here because it took about 20 tries just to get that. So this is such a cool place that I think I felt obliged to get as much footage as I could. And again, I fell into the trap of wanting to include everything, even though 80% of it was doing the exact same line to the drop in here. But there's so many films of me just carving up and down the wall when it could have been shorter. I should have pushed myself harder. One thing that I do now after some experience is if I'm at a really cool place, I'm going to push myself and actually put my body on the line to get something that is impressive enough to reflect the spot. Here, you know, I'm just doing like little bird slide and some carves on the wall. Like, it's really difficult to do, which I think the camera doesn't really capture for this spot, but should have tried to push myself a little bit more. When I went back the following year, I was able to get, you know, blunt stalls. I was able to get a nose pivot on there. I was able to get some more advanced tricks because I actually did push myself to try and get something better. To put in a 3-minute sequence doing the same thing here, I think it just dilutes what would have been a really good ending scene to this movie. And what should have been the best part kind of just gets drowned out. Like that tiny little ollie, like if that's the best I could get, I don't think I should have included it. Backside air into bird slide, you know, that's all right, but there were so many similar ones that were done before that I think I just should have been more selective. when you have a spot that's this amazing and the scene starts to feel tedious, then you've done something wrong. Little known fact, I destroyed 3 pairs of pants on the 3 times skating that spot. Let's just skip this outro so we don't give away the spot too much.
It was one of the best days of surf skating, maybe of any board sport in my life.
I think that's all right. That makes sense. You got the Parliament buildings in the background, so it kind of helps to stick with the theme of the movie, which was about Ottawa, so skating locally in my spot, and yeah, I'm all right with that.
Any parting words before we wrap up?
Yeah, I guess I would say in surf skating or in anything in life, don't be afraid to do things your own way. That doesn't mean that you never stop learning or you can't learn from others. You should always continue learning and picking things up from others, but just don't be shy about adding your own style to something. Don't feel ashamed if the way you do something is a little bit different. If you've imagined a trick that you've never seen done, go out and learn how to do it. If you see an obstacle or something that's never been skated, go out and learn how to skate it. That's the thing about surf skating. The beautiful thing about it is that the entire world around you can be your ocean. You just have to have the vision to be able to see it. So find it.
All right. So as much critical things as I had to say, I 100% stand by that closing message, and it's still what I stick to in the whole reason for starting this Patreon channel, is that I want to continue pushing that creativity. I want other surf skaters to start seeing beyond what's kind of just the stock surf skate moves that are based in surfing, and realizing that there's all this terrain out there that we can explore without boundaries. There's all these maneuvers that might not be possible on a surfboard, but which could be done on a surf skate, maybe even better than on a skateboard because of the larger wheels, the turning radius. Like, there's a whole world of opportunities that I see out there to explore. That's what I want to push more of. So I stand by that closing message 100%.
Go out and surf skate everything.
And I think now the highlight of this movie, the best part, is actually the credits and the bail reel, because there were some good ones.
Hi.
I really did not feel good talking to a camera like that, documentary style. It was really awkward. That one hurt. Lakai slip-on's no good. Oh, yeah, here's the one where... Oh, no, it wasn't that one. It's fun seeing people fall and hurt themselves. I actually put a chunk in my wheel on that metal piece there. So yeah, I think I really nailed the bail reel part, especially since I was trying to get it to match the song length, so I had to cover quite a bit of time. This is way more entertaining than any of the carving sequences. It was probably a centimeter that I avoided the extreme credit carding there. If I had been on the YOW Medina for that one, you guys might not see me today skating. Might have been where I hung it up. You know what? Let's just go back again and see how close that was. Oh my god. And now you see why I put in that nose slide clip, even though it wasn't great. Because there were a lot of falls like that. The number of times that almost happened. And earlier in the year, there was like water down below. So if your board did go all the way down, it would have fallen into this giant pond. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie. All right, and it really drags on here with similar falls. Like, yeah, they're pretty bad. They hurt a lot. I destroyed my pants, but there's a lot of them that are very similar. So I think we can even skip it here because if you want to see them all, you can go back and watch the whole thing. So another bad part is just the dragging on of the bail reel at the end. And that's it. So, worst surfskate movie of all time. I think that's a bit harsh, and I want to show you that if you were to search best surfskating movie, it also comes up. So I was being a little bit clickbaity when I said that it was the worst one. There might not be that many hits for surfskate movies. So anyway, there it is, guys. I don't think it's the worst Surfskate movie, but I do think that in retrospect, I wouldn't have made it. I would have waited until I had a little bit more skill. It really helped to build my skills and understanding what I should do better when making Surfskate films. So it was a great learning process, but it is something that I put out too early, unpolished. And I've kind of given some thought to maybe doing a recut, like one that gets it down to the best 7 minutes maybe. But I'm not sure if I want to rehash the past, maybe just think moving forward. So let me know if you think you would watch a 5 minute to 7 minute version of Unconventional that's been recut, the director's cut. But if you've watched all through this, then you probably don't think there's a need to do that. But anyway, hope you found this entertaining. Subscribe to my Patreon channel and you will see me doing this to other people's stuff. And I will try not to be as mean, but I am going to be critical and sort of say the things, like I said with my own movie, that maybe could have been done better, or different ways of filming something, different trick selection, things like that, that I think overall I want to see more Surfskate movies that really are exploring creativity, that are getting to the diversity that we have in skateboard movies and surf movies, where there's such a variety of filming styles and trick selection and places, that I want to see that for surf skating too. So thanks for watching, guys. That's it for today.